Let's get Paige, and then straight to New Hampshire. You should call Henry now.
And tell him what?
He's got to get away from the school. We'll pick him up on the road or in a town. Our best bet's probably the Canadian border.
I don't think so.
What?
Henry should stay. He's been doing so well there. His future is here.
Leave him? Is that what you mean?
It's the best thing for him.
To be alone? Away from us? That is not the best thing for him.
He belongs here.
He belongs with us.
We have to do it for him.
Philip. They would tear him to pieces.
He hasn't done anything. He doesn't even know. This is where he grew up. It's awful, but...
I'm a passionate monarchist who believes constitutional monarchy is Britain's greatest invention.
Do you indeed?
Yes, I do. I believe that monarchy provides clarity. A symbolic head of state transcending the self-serving interests of the egocentric and self-motivated politicians who go in and out of office, who, as King Lear wonderfully says, ebb and flow by the moon. But when working at its best, monarchy can rise above such matters and unify a society. It can set the tone and become the embodiment of the nation, of national character. But the problem is, at the moment, it's not doing that.
It's doing very little right, as far as you're concerned.
No, that's not true.
You would like to see Her Majesty endowed with superhuman powers.
Well, it's not superhuman to be a little spontaneous.
Well, judging from your article, you'd like the Queen to have the qualities of a wit. You'd like her to be a better orator, a TV personality, in addition to being a diligent, dutiful, and devoted monarch and a mother.
All I'm suggesting is that in her public speeches and in her appearances, she should be more natural. Her style of speaking is, quite frankly, a pain in the neck. She sounds strangled. I had the misfortune of hearing one of the Queen's speeches in a dental waiting room recently. I was horrified by the indifference and inertia with which the speech was greeted.
But you'd accept that being Queen and head of the Church of England is not an easier job, or a simple one. If you'll forgive me, it's arguably a harder job than editing a small periodical.
No, I quite agree. Her Majesty has a seemingly impossible task. She has to be ordinary and extraordinary, touched by divinity and yet one of us. But being ordinary doesn't have to mean bland.
The father needed to die and not the son. Perhaps they both needed time to contemplate their mistakes in the solitude of a cold cell. We had no time to discuss the possibilities before you ended their possibilities.
One could be forgiven for thinking you're taking your family's side in this debate.
I am taking their side. You need to take your enemy's side if you're going to see things the way they do. And you need to see things the way they do if you're going to anticipate their actions, respond effectively, and beat them. Which I want you to do very much, because I believe in you and in the world you want to build. But the world you want to build doesn't get built all at once, probably not in a single lifetime. How do we ensure your vision endures? After you break the wheel, how do we make sure it stays broken?
You want to know who sits on the Iron Throne after I'm dead? Is that it?
You say you can't have children. But there are other ways of choosing a successor. The Night's Watch has one method. The Ironborn, for all their many flaws, have another.
We will discuss the succession after I wear the crown.
Your Grace, I saw hundreds of arrows fly towards you when you fought on the Blackwater Rush, and I saw hundreds of arrows miss. But any one of them could have found your heart and ended you.
You've been thinking about my death quite a bit, haven't you? Is this one of the items you discussed with your brother in King's Landing?
I'm trying to serve you by planning for the long term.
Perhaps if you planned for the short term, we wouldn't have lost Dawn in Highgarden. We will discuss the succession after I wear the crown.
Any man who would hurt a woman would hurt a child.
What are you saying?
I'm saying this baby needs protection.
I would never, ever allow anything to happen to a baby.
Praise me. Olivia, thank you.
I was godmother to my sister's child. He died when he was 4 days old.
Sorry.
It wasn't my fault.
He's insane.
He's awesome.
Steve! Watch out! A little busy here. 3 o'clock! 3 o'clock! Steve! Steve! Aboard! Aboard!
Are they rabid or something?
They can't get in! They can't! Is anyone there? Mike! Will! God! Anyone! We're at the old junkyard, and we are going to die! Out of the way! Out of the way! You want some?
Hey, come on.
Louis slept downstairs. I don't know where he is.
It'll be okay. Lift up your arms.
Down.
Now go. Grab onto this. Go all the way. Help her out, Randall. You got her?
Yeah.
Okay. Set it back up. Okay. Come on back.
Oh my God.
I love you.
I love you.
Okay, lift your arms up. Now grab onto the sheet. Go. You got her?
Yeah.
Get back.
Louis! Louis, please! Come on! Louis, come on, boy! Please!
I think I hear him. I think I can get to him.
Get down here! No, Jack! Jack, don't go back in.
Go back to the street. Go back to the street right
Jack,
now.
get down here.
I'll be right out.
Jack! Come on, guys. Come on. Jack! Jack!